Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Whatever time of day it is and whatever day it is, I want to thank you for listening to another episode of AJH Politics. I'm Eric. In this episode, we're taking a look at the Topeka, Kansas City Council races here in 2025, where I asked them, why should a libertarian vote for you? I asked the candidates. Before I get into that, I do want to acknowledge that I apologize for any of the awkward pauses and the and the AV quality. It is what it is. I know I also did some vulgarity. I would have liked to have said that this should be fairly PG-13, but this is a video about voting, so it's generally meant for an adult audience, and most of it's pretty PG-13, but I dropped some bombs. Moving on, what can we expect? I already told you what the question was. Episode 1 is going to be the incumbent from District 1, which is Karen Hiller, and I just did the incumbents first just because I did. So episode 2 will be from District 1, William Neger. The odd districts are what are up for election here, so next would be District 3, and episode 3 will be incumbent Sylvia Ortiz. Episode 4 for District 3 challenger Daisy Karima. For District 5, Brett Daniel Kell is running unopposed. I reached out to him. He did not respond back to me. I reached out to him again. I haven't still heard anything back. I'm just not really going to chase that down. So it is what it is. Moving on, District 7. Well, Episode 5 for District 7 will be Earl McIntosh, which I want to acknowledge I am involved with his campaign. So I'll try to not be biased about this stuff, but I am involved with his campaign. He's a challenger, District 7 retired, so there's another challenger, and that is Michelle Bradbury. There's no incumbent, and so Michelle Bradbury will be Episode 6 for District 7. Episode 7, we're going back to the mayoral race, Spencer Duncan. And I should mention on the mayoral race as well as on District 1, there was a primary before that because there were multiple persons on, so many people on the candidate, they narrowed it down to just the top 2. And so this is who survived that. And so that was Episode 7 for Spencer Duncan, who is also currently District 8 representative. So the mayor's resigning or retiring. So there's no incumbent, but Spencer Duncan kind of incumbent in terms of having a little asterisk next to his name, maybe. The other challenger will be Episode 8 for mayor race, Henry McClure. And then at the time when I first made this introduction, 8 of these 12 people had responded, there's 3 people running for District 9, which is where I live, which was a little annoying for me since I would like to get something from them. But I happened to actually just talk to Chris Deister, who's going to be now Episode 9. Now he is a challenger. If I hear from the other challenger, Nick Trammell, or the incumbent Michelle Hoffer, I will try to post those videos if I can. Beforehand, but I'm glad I got in contact with someone. He should be sending me an email with his answer to why should a libertarian vote for you? So without further ado, let's see what they said to that question. Here we go with Episode 3, which involves Sylvia Ortiz, the incumbent for District 3 here for City of Topeka, local elections 2025. I had sent her a couple emails, so there's a little thing about her responding to me. So thank you for your response, Sylvia Ortiz. I appreciate it. Yeah, and as always, I'm sorry, I'm reading it right now because I haven't pre-read it. So I like to just kind of give a gut instinct reaction to it. So here we go. Incumbent council member Sylvia Ortiz. Why should a libertarian vote for you? She says, "Hi, Eric. I have you on my long to-do list. A libertarian should vote for me because I believe in criminal justice reform, not raising taxes and reducing spending when possible. I support private partners to help reduce the cost to the city or citizens, freedom of speech, immigration, open borders, and the free movement of people, while welcoming peaceful immigrants into this country and worker rights. I also believe in protecting individual civil rights and personal choices. Thanks, Council member Sylvia Ortiz." Okay, so why should a libertarian vote for you? So criminal justice reform is what she started with. I definitely agree with that. She talks about not raising taxes and reducing spending, which is nice. Again, This is also the incumbent, and we've already had conversations about property taxes going up and buying that hotel. That being said, she says the right things. So I'm trying to just critique what is written there. She continues on by talking about private partners reduce the cost to the city. I don't know exactly. I support private partners to help reduce the cost to the city. I mean, like, if she's talking about privatization, like, privatizing healthcare, privatizing education, that'd be great. She didn't really say that. I support private partners to help reduce the cost to the city or citizens. Okay, comma, so that's a thing. Then she also says freedom of speech. Okay, cool, I like freedom of speech. She says immigration, where she wants open borders and the free movement of people, which is a very libertarian thing that I disagree with, which I'm not going to try to go in why I think libertarianism should support that. But if you want a libertarian place, you're going to have to draw that on the map somewhere, whether you think it's the entire United States or just your HOA. You have to have borders in order to do that. But I'm all about immigration that's legal. I'm not about illegal immigration. So then she says, welcoming peaceful immigrants. Legal immigrants. I don't care how peaceful someone is. If they're breaking the law, which is, to me, the whole thing about the immigration thing is that it's thievery. They are coming into our society without paying taxes to benefit, without becoming a citizen of our society. And if I have to pay taxes, they should have to pay taxes and be eligible for the draft and every other thing that comes with being an actual member of this society. That I don't consider that peaceful behavior. So even if they're, really nice and make great guacamole or like whatever these immigrants are doing, I'm just saying there should be a legal process that I would like to be taken to. But her answer is pretty libertarian to some branch of the libertarianism. So anyway, protecting individual civil rights and personal choices. That just sounds like pretty much a lot more left-leaning social policies, which again are not my thing because it's identity politics. She doesn't really bring up any identities in there, so I appreciate it. But for all the people that complain about all the racism and homophobia and shit like that that's out there, I don't see it. Like, it seems to me like you can go get a bank account or a job and do whatever you want, assuming that you're qualified to do it. If you act like a brat, then shit hits the fan. And a lot of the people that I think she's kind of placating with these answers are people that I think that act like brats. But overall, pretty libertarian response. Criminal justice reform, that's great. Reducing taxes, that's great. Freedom of speech, that's great. Reducing spending, that's great. I also believe in people's rights to have their own personal choices, even the ones I disagree with. That's fine, but I don't have to, cheer for it. I'll just say that, So I just get the idea that she cheers for personal choices that I inherently disagree with, while, spreading hate about choices that I do agree with. And there's plenty of libertarians. The party's pretty split on it, that absolutely have no problem with strong border patrol and security. So even though that answer is very libertarian, it's also kind of not libertarian. Certainly to some of the people in the party. But let me know what you think. Thank you very much for your response there, Sylvia Ortiz. Wish you the best of luck. And that is in District 3. And it is November 4th is the day that election is. I have it written down somewhere. That sounds right. Hopefully it is. Thanks. Bye. All right. So there it is. Here's my outro. You've watched this episode. Thank you for watching it. I do want to say that as I try to critique everything, maybe a little bit positive here, maybe a little bit negative there, and try to kind of approach it from the lens of, here's an interesting question, even if you're not involved in this election. see how people respond to it, like with kind of this idea of like, what does it actually mean to be a libertarian? What does a politician that's running think of that word? And then I also kind of gave my own critiques, positive and negative. Write down in your comments, do you agree or disagree with how libertarian of a response the answer was? And do you agree or disagree with any of my hot takes on any of that? But other than that, thank you for watching. Bye.